Facebook family. How you doing, YouTube family? Come on in. Give you an opportunity to get on in here. Say what's up. Let me reach out. Just want to say a few words, speak to people a little bit. How y'all doing? It's been a while since I did my YouTube live, so let's remember subscribe and share the YouTube page. Subscribe and share the YouTube page. How y'all doing? Let me know if you're there. I see 4, I see 1, I see 7, I see 10. All right. Let me know if you're there. Come on through. Share the live. Just want to sit down and talk to the people for a little while. Roll out. So look, there's a lot been going on, especially dealing with this political arena and our overall progress. From what I'm seeing, as it relates to just these streets, violence, the educational process of our children, visiting these DJJ. For y'all that don't know what DJJ is, that's Juvenile Justice Center, and just sharing the live, and just sharing information and dealing with our sons and our daughters in those DJJ, those facilities. And it's atrocious. It's a shame that our young sons and daughters sit in those places, never seeming to have any reformation. What I mean is, reform is not forthcoming for our sons and our daughters in those places. They arrest our children. They tend to always have peace. Assalamu alaikum. That's that brother Nubian. Brother Nubian, I see you, DJ Mazi Moss. Listen, we seem to never really have a clear drawing and an understanding how to best help our children, whether it's in grammar school, high school, or in these DJJ. They warehouse our sons only to prepare them. They kick them out of school. Then they lock them up in juvenile justice. Then they often send them to prison because oftentimes they drop out. And that's what I want to talk about today a little bit, about just the political landscape surrounding, for the next 5 or 10 minutes, the political scape surrounding incarcerating our children, man. And them not having the proper toolage, education, mentorship. So with that being said, I want to just say that we've been blessed to have access. We've been blessed to have access to a 300-bed camp right on the outskirts of Illinois, 40 minutes outside of Chicago, where my goal is to every weekend identify 100 to 300 at-risk youth. 100 to 300 at-risk youth. I'm figuring from age 8, 5, 8, all the way to 16, 18, maybe. We still fleshing that out, but the whole objective is to, for a weekend, if nothing else, to be able to get our sons up out these neighborhoods, these communities, man, where their lives is constantly in flux, where their lives is constantly at a crossroad, to be able to partner with you, CPS, and even the juvenile justice, as well as IDOC, and where we can help these single mothers with these boys to create some form of manhood training, behavior modification um, techniques that allow us to, man, send these young boys back uh, better than when we received them. Although 2 days a weekend is not enough to uh, to really serve the children that as long as they, I mean, for as long as they need serving. My objective is to just to be able to bring these young men up out these communities where gang, drugs, and violence exist, and isolate them in a space where mentors, like such as myself and other brothers, other men who volunteer, and other men who work at the camp, can then take these young brothers and we can give them some manhood models to lean on. Also, with that being said, we have a school as well, a boarding school that can also serve the purpose for CPS to transform the thinking and the mindset of our sons. At some point, we as Black men have to take responsibility for our own children. So once again, for those who just tuned in, we have a 300-bed facility, a camp where that we would like to use as a means to an end, meaning that we would like to be able to take our sons out of the neighborhoods, our nephews, our cousins, out of these communities, and introduce them for a weekend from Friday to Sunday, and introduce them to a different environment and a different process of learning, a different manhood training and behavior modification stuff that we would like to implement that kind of get our sons back into these young kids back into some form of just a level of decency, man, that allowed them to teach them respect and honor, dignity and pride, man, because that seemed to be lacking in these young people. That seemed to be lacking in them, and we have to figure out how to merge that and how to correct that dysfunction. So with that being said, we have the 300 bed camp. We also have a boarding school that we have access to whenever we want to use it to save our sons and our daughters. No longer can we wait on outsiders to continue to punish, continue to teach, in most cases the wrong way, and from it becomes less and less from a cultural perspective and become more of a some type of it become more of a book form of teaching and learning, and that's not natural for children. You only learn by doing. There has to be positive examples around often, and our children don't receive that. And I just wanted to come in and just say, we're going to talk more about this camp, this boarding school. I have a number of elected officials that I want to bring to the camp just to show them this is what we need the funding for. You figure each weekend the camp costs anywhere between $350 to $500 per child, and just being able to get the funding. We have the funding to lock our children up, but we don't have the funding to send our children off to places, trips, programs that can help modify children's behavior. It's time for us to demand more of our legislators. It's time for us to demand more of our tax dollars, where we can act as real, true leaders of our community, real, true leaders of our children, and also be an aid and support to the women who have to deal with these young boys without fathers. You know, that's a joy for me to be able to take the burden off of a sister who has sons. I'm just one person with over 50 to 60 young men that we mentor. It's almost impossible for me to be and deal with every young man that's out of order, that's having a level, that dealing with levels of dysfunction. We have to get the brothers aboard. But In the interim of all that, I just want you all to know we have the space, the facility to properly um, uh, just interact and separate and apart from Chicago, meaning we can move them out the city for in this 30 to 40-minute ride, which is a good sightseeing. It's like a field trip. Then we take them to the camp where we put them all in their room, their beds, their spaces. They getting three hots in the cot every day. And then we send them, usher them into different programs that allow them to connect with proper tutelage, proper learning, manhood training, behavior modification for our sons. We got to stop the killing. This is a form of violence reduction, violence prevention. This is what I mean. We have to get in front of this type of stuff. We can't wait for these individuals to respond to violence. We have to be proactive and get in front of violence before the summer hit. That's every day. That's all day. That's the weekend. That's the weekdays. That's night. That's morning. But here I am. I'm trying to offer a solution. I am offering up a solution. And we're over the next month or two, we'll be building out. I got a few cities to travel to within the next week or two. I got a few cities to travel to, and I'm also being given an award in New Jersey for the work that I do here in Chicago by my man Salam Ismail. I will be in New Jersey, brother Salam, to be on the panel and accept my award, man. Give me my medal, brother. I appreciate you, though, man. With all due respect, I appreciate you. We do this for no awards. We do this for no fanfare, man. I'm tired every day out here pushing the envelope. I'm out here pushing every day, all day, man, to try to create change and opportunity for our communities, man. We have to be assistant to our women with these single parents, women and men, with these children, man. That women going to work, they can't. We have to be an extension to those sisters who have sons. So, any sister with a son 7 and older, I want to be able to get their information and figure out what it is that they need from their child. I mean, what their child need, and then be of assistance in helping them to try to find the necessary help, but also to have those children in our Rolodex where we can reach out to the parent and say, or she can reach out to us and say, most definitely every weekend or at least once a month, we need to be able to take those children to this camp where we can operate in a space that isolate them from the ills of the world, protects them in their own little space and place and circumference, and then imparting those children the necessary, behavior modification, manhood training techniques, and the like to teach integrity, respect, and honor. That's what I want to do. I was gonna come on and talk about these bogus pastors and politicians. But I'm gonna let that be. I'll be back on that. But I hope that y'all can appreciate what I'm saying about the camp, appreciate what I'm saying about the boarding school, as we attempt to partner with the city to not lock our sons up, but to create alternative avenues of expression for our children. Our children need alternative ways and means to express themselves, not just merely through punishment. How can you know the truth or know corrections if you've never seen what true corrections is? Every example that our children see tend to be negative examples. So we hope that this camp will serve as a pinnacle and a fulcrum of change to tap into some of the violence that our children often get involved in. So, with that being said, I thank you all. I thank you all for tuning in. If you haven't already, share my YouTube page because these are the type of things I will be talking about on YouTube opposed to Facebook. I just want to so share it, subscribe, share it, and let's build, man. Let's work together. Let's reach out to one another, and let's see where we can be an assistance to anybody in the community, man. It don't take you don't have to be on the front line all the ways like I am often, but just merely knocking on your neighbor's door to see what it is that they would like to do. I'm just saying we have to reach out to our family. Life is too short um, for us to be so selfish. So I work for the kids, I work for my community, I work for my family, and then lastly, I figure out aspects of how to deal with the self. But for the most part, I just thank God for giving me the strength, the will, and the continued courage because it's not an easy work, man, dealing with black people. I ain't lying. And I'm not talking about the regular black people in the community. I'm talking about the people that they put in front of us to give us that claim to be our leaders and that have authority in so-called authority in the community, who those people ultimately call. But yes, let's get it. I'm gonna keep sharing it. I'm gonna keep saying it. We have a 300 bed camp for our children, our at-risk youth, who we desire to get out us of the state line and get them away from the violence, introduce them to some manhood training, and give them a bit of behavior modification in hopes that we can develop in those brothers and sisters integrity, respect, honor, character. If we could just get them away from this environment for 2 days out of a week, out of a month, in a week on a weekend. And it costs funding, of course, it costs money to feed children. It costs money to be able to provide 3 meals a day um, and the teacher necessary teachers and tutors on that site. So I figure on average it would cost us $350 to $500 a child, and we're working on funding right now to be able to take 100 to 300 kids every weekend. That's my goal. And to be of assistance to single parents, single women, single men who there's a lot of fathers who take care of their children solo. And I would, but at the end of the day, this is what our goal are, and we also have a boarding school where we want to. Our goal and desire and our vision is to see an alternative for locking our children up in the juvenile justice center over there on 11th and Hamilton and on Western and all down the state of Illinois. They got places where they're housing our sons and daughters and nephews and nieces. It's time to have a better way, a different approach coming from genuine love and true corrections, because that's not what that is that we see. They warehousing our sons and our daughters so young that they get 120,000. It costs 120,000 per child. 120,000 per child is what they receive to house our children, to warehouse our children. That is a shame. That is a shame. We that should be unacceptable. That's what it costs to house our children. 120,000 per child, people. Look at the money that people make off our children bodies. We have to change the narrative. We got to be the message we want to see. And with that being said, I'm done. I'll get back on this subject. I'm going to continue to put literature out. We're going to continue to meet with legislators and business persons that will sponsor 500 children, that will sponsor 100 children. Every weekend, we will be rolling out. We will be rolling out every weekend, but at least if we can get 300 to 400 kids out there per month, we can start to develop and build true young men, true character, and just being a voice for these young people and being a mentor, a guide to these young people. Please continue to share this live. Please continue to spread the word. And also remember to be kind to one another. And I'm saying one another. I'm not talking about being kind to people who oppress you. That's not what I do. I'm saying be kind to one another. Be kind to our neighbors and find help where you can help. And may God continue to bless you. And we got some great days ahead of us. And we got a lot of work ahead of us. So thank you for tuning in, people. Peace. Oh, ECCSE.org. Go in there, be a member of ECCSE. Go in there, share, donate, do whatever you would like to do. But also follow me, TyroneMuhammad.com, and as well as on Facebook. Thank you.